Centuries before modern naval forces deployed high-speed assault boats and tactical supplies that long went into the West African coast, an ancient maritime nation in the western Niger Delta engineered a massive, highly standardized naval fleet entirely out of single tree trunks, operating massive war cannons and what would carry up to 100 heavily armed marines and mounted iron artillery pieces. The Itsekiri Kingdom of Warri transformed the complex river networks of southern Nigeria into a highly regulated sovereign maritime highway, creating an absolute naval superpower that controlled regional trade routes and completely defied European naval domination for generations. In today's story, we will explore a hidden technological and maritime chapter that reveals the advanced boat building science, the hydrodynamic mapping, and subnaval organization developed in pre-colonial Nigeria. To fully appreciate the scientific brilliance of the pre-colonial African societies, we have to clear away the false colonial claims that ancient Nigerian warcraft were simply primitive logs paddled aimlessly through swamps. In the river-dominated topography of Delta, the Itsekiri people established a highly centralized maritime state. They realized that in a landscape defined by thousands of shallow creeks, deep estuaries, and violent ocean currents, whoever controlled the physics of boats design would control the geopolitical balance of the entire subcontinent. And the Itsekiri master shipwrights engineered a category of heavy transport and combat vessels that was an absolute marvel of vernacular naval architecture. The Okoloko, or the Great Royal War Canoe. The construction process was a masterclass in material physics and forestry management. The builders selected specific ancient silk-cutting Iroko trees from deep within the forest and selecting them for their perfect straightness and specific density. Using a sophisticated combination of controlled fire burning and precision iron arts carving, they hollowed out the massive trunks. What they did next was amazing because they didn't just leave the hulls flat. They ensured that the boats could navigate both shallow mangroves and channels that are rough. But they didn't just leave the hulls flat. To ensure the boats could navigate both shallow mangroves channels and the rough chopping waves of the open Atlantic Ocean, the shipwrights developed an advanced hydrodynamic design. They flared the upper gunwales outwards using steam softening techniques and carved a distinct narrow V shape into the bow and stern. And this allowed a massive wooden hull, often measuring up to 80 feet long, to slash through water resistance with incredible efficiency, preventing the vessel from capsizing during high-speed maneuver. Now, the internal organization of these vessels were structured with military precision. A single standard war canoe featured a crew of up to 80 perfectly synchronized paddlers, sitting in pairs on custom-fitted crossbeams. These paddlers operated under a captain who used rhythmic iron guns to regulate their stroke frequencies, allowing the massive vessel to achieve acceleration metrics that completely outpaced the heavy wind-dependent sailing boats of European merchants. At the bow of the canoe, Itsekiri engineers constructed reinforced wooden platforms designed to absorb the immense kinetic recoil of heavy weaponry. They mounted hand-forged iron silver guns and brass cannons brought through the international trade, thereby turning each canoe into a mobile artillery battery capable of launching devastating tactical strikes along the riverbanks. The Kingdom of Warri utilized this naval fleet to enforce absolute economic sovereignty over the Bight of Benin. The Olu, the king, operated a highly structured royal navy, appointing senior naval commanders who managed dedicated regional fleets. These fleets patrolled the Delta highways, enforcing strict customs tariffs, inspecting foreign trade vessels, and shutting down illicit operations completely. The European slave ships or the palm oil merchants tried to bypass the state's mandatory taxes or use military intimidation. The Itsekiri Navy would deploy hundreds of high-speed artillery canoes. They would completely surround the massive European ships in the narrow rivers channels, cutting off their freshwater supplies and forcing the foreign captains to submit to local legal jurisdiction without the Itsekiri needing to fire a single shot. For centuries, this naval supremacy kept the Delta states completely independent, forcing global empires to treat Nigerian monarchs as absolute sovereign peers. But by the late 19th century, the introduction of heavy steam-powered gunboats equipped with long-range beating artillery allowed the British colonial forces to bypass the shallow waters advances of the traditional fleet, leading to the systematic dismantling of the independent naval syndicates during the 1894 invasion of Ebroimi. Today, we look at the traditional boat regattas during the cultural festivals in Delta State, and we see the colorful flags, the beautiful uniforms, and the splashing waters, treating them purely as artistic entertainment. But if you look beneath the pageantry, you are staring at the living material memory of a time when Nigerian naval architects tamed the wild waters of the Niger Delta. They mastered the laws of hydrodynamics and engineered a magnificent wood fleet that served as a shield for national freedom. And that's our time today on Rock Solid. Follow, like, share, and stay rock solid.